Hey man, what's good YouTube, man? It's your boy Tabari coming at y'all boys with another reaction video. Today we are reacting to, damn nigga, can I pull this shit down? Could you spend $1 trillion? Now, $1 trillion is a fucking lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money. But then at the same time, over time, you could definitely spend $1 trillion. Like if you the type of person to splurge on some dumbass shit, bro, yes, you could definitely spend $1 trillion. But you can definitely live off $1 trillion, bro. If you were offered, if you were handed $1 trillion and then you wasn't making no money over time, bro, you can live off that shit for God knows how long. If you a regular nigga and you not really spending too fucking much, then yes, you can live off that shit. But if you a nigga that just like spending shit, don't get me wrong, we all have a spending addiction, bro. We all have a spending addiction. You feel what I'm saying? But if you the type of nigga that you just gonna be spending dumbass shit, hell yeah, you gonna blow through that shit within probably not even half of a decade, my nigga. Just depends, low key. It just depends on the type of person you are. You feel what I'm saying? But you feel what I'm saying? We finna go ahead and get into this motherfucker. See what this shit talking about real quick. Hold on. See what this shit talking about real quick.
You just got $1 trillion. Not a million, not a billion, a trillion.
Damn, why they made
But
that
there's a
shit like that?
catch. You need to spend all of it in the next 24 hours, or you lose everything. This should be easy. First, you need a new car. Go to your local.
How the fuck is that even possible? I mean, that's possible, but it's in 24 hours? Not even 48 hours? Sheesh.
Local exotic dealership and buy yourself a Lambo. And a Ferrari. And a McLaren. You know what? Just buy up the entire dealership. Now, you have the $12 million garage of your dreams.
Hell
But there's
yeah.
one small
There's
problem.
one problem.
In order to spend $1 trillion in 24 hours, you would need to buy out that entire dealership every single second. You need to think bigger. Let's hire 100 people to track down the 100 most expensive yachts and buy them for us. And let's throw in $1 million bonus for each mercenary. That'll be around a 40.
I ain't gonna lie, if you really keep it a band, spending $1 trillion would really not be that hard. It's a lot of things that you can do to spend $1 trillion in 24 hours. Whether if you're spending it for yourself, giving it to your family, giving it to people in need, not just about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Really think about it. Think outside the box, my nigga. Real shit.
$1 billion check, but let's also buy the biggest cruise ship of all time for $2 billion and fill it up to maximum capacity, paying for everyone's tickets and tossing in a Rolex too. Let's make use of this ship's basketball court by buying up every single NBA team and having them battle it out. Then let's get Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, and Beyonce to perform for us before sending them off to the International Space Station on a SpaceX rocket that costs $55 million per passenger. Now that you're hanging with rich people, you need a status symbol.
55 million?
SpaceX rocket that costs $55 million per passenger. Now that you're hanging with rich people, you need a status symbol. You could buy the world's most expensive art piece for $500 million, but why would you do that when you could just buy the entire Metropolitan Museum of Art for $100 million, and then we could go over to... Transaction failed. There's no way we're already out of money. Yeah, we still have $800 billion. The Metropolitan Museum is an educational institution whose assets are held for the public benefit and are not owned by... You know what? Forget about the Met.
Oh, damn. That's tough.
The entirety of New York City is worth around 1.3 trillion. There are currently 33,210 vacant units available, so let's hire 33,000 people to snatch those up for us, and of course throw in a 100K commission. But here's something you need to think about. The most expensive real estate purchase in US history was this $240 million concrete brick.
Damn.
That might sound like a lot of money, but you spending $240 million is like an average person spending $60.
Damn,
I think
bro.
Instead of buying houses, you should build a mega
fuck.
project. The sky is truly your limit.
Like, this shit right here making me feel broke as shit, bro. Like, yo, chat, we gotta get fucking rich, bro. Bro, we gotta get rich, bro. No cap, dog. This shit is ridiculous.
You can build your
We
project
gotta
wherever
get
you want.
rich.
If there's people in the way, buy them out with your pocket change. Or maybe try the Saudi Arabia method and relocate them into a graveyard. Actually, I think the Middle East is exactly where we need to go. So let's buy
What the
one Gulfstream
fuck?
G650 for each day of the year and fly across the world.
I ain't gonna lie.
Welcome
Nigga, I'm buying private jets across the whole world, bro. Everywhere I go, I'm owning a private jet, my nigga. No cap.
to the Arabian Peninsula, where people will build literally anything. The world's biggest
For real?
picture frame, the world's largest clock, the massivest cube, the tallest structure ever,
Y'all be building shit out there like that? What the hell?
man-made sinking islands shaped after the world map from
Oh,
memory.
okay,
These are cool.
okay,
Let's build
okay.
an even bigger artificial island for 20 billion. Of course, we can't forget about labor cost, so for that, let's budget in $10. Then let's buy every single one of those mega projects I just showed you for a total donation of $101,292,010 to our Middle Eastern boys.
I ain't gonna lie.
But
That's
while
gonna
you're
be a
here,
busy
take a
ass
look at the
day.
Burj Khalifa, the current tallest building in the world.
And plus, how would you be able to travel to get there that quick? That's quite literally impossible. That's taking half of your day. I'm telling you, like, you would literally have to make purchases while being on the fucking plane, my nigga, on the jet, my nigga. God damn.
If you were to stack $1 bills to the very top, the tower would be worth 7.58 million. You still need to spend
What the
87,000 times that. A stack so high it would
Wow.
go past the International Space Station.
That's crazy.
If you ever want to spend this money, you need to stop
That's
thinking
gotta
in
be
real
cap,
estate
though.
and
That's
start
gotta be
thinking
cap.
in 51st state. Do you see where I'm going with this? Buy a country. In 2010, the country of Liechtenstein put itself on Airbnb at 70 grand a night. This is literally nothing. You can't be looking at countries
70K
hoeing themselves
a
out for
night?
pennies. You need the ultimate prize. Somewhere cooler. Somewhere
Fuck no.
strategic. Let's buy Greenland. Based on the market price of its mineral reserves, the world's biggest island has a price tag of around 200 billion. We can afford that. But there's one small thing in our way. During
What?
Trump's first term, when he proposed the conquest of Greenland, the country dismissed the idea as completely ridiculous and firmly stated that Greenland is not for sale.
Damn. That's tough.
Let's buy an F-35 for $80 million. Fuck it. 2 F-35s.
Fuck it, it's crazy.
3, 10, 100. 2 aircraft carriers, 3 destroyer ships, 1 ballistic missile submarine, 57,000 Blackwater soldiers, 1 for every citizen of Greenland. Now we have a $50 billion makeshift military, and it looks like
Damn.
Greenland's for sale after all.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
by this point in your trillionaire spending spree, people are starting to take notice. Your exploits might not have hit TikTok yet, but rumblings are beginning behind closed governmental doors. Luckily for you, there's not much politicians can say once you own them. Buy a politician. We got Trump here for $1.5 billion. Kamala is almost $2 billion, but you do get a free Joe Biden. Let's buy up
That's
both of those
crazy.
and every sitting member of the
Bro, what
Senate
am
and
I
House for a
looking
grand
at?
total of $7.2 billion for the entirety of American politics. This is a great deal, but there's a catch. Money influences politics, but it doesn't always decide it. I mean, look at the presidential race. Democrats outspent Republicans and still lost because $2 billion can't buy aura. More recently, Elon dropped millions of dollars campaigning for an election in Wisconsin, only to find out that shit no longer works when everyone hates you. Even BlackRock doesn't always get what they want.
I'm gonna keep it a band though. All this shit that he talking about right here with this presidential shit, I don't give a fuck, my nigga. Like, come on, make it a little bit more interesting. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody care about this presidential shit.
$1 trillion gives you access to almost everything. But culture and public perception are things that are not for sale. Just kidding. Let's buy every single media company. The Washington Post, Time Magazine, the New York Times, Comcast,
Okay.
Fox. Global ad spend for an
Okay,
entire
see, now
year is
we-
around $1 trillion. That averages to $3 billion a day. So let's run 1
Damn.
week straight of propaganda and we should be good. But if you're still getting heat, there's one final method you can use. A donation a day keeps the guillotine away. It's time for
the fuck?
philanthropy. There are a lot of causes to choose from, but you should start off with the people
See?
most in need.
You see
The
what
US
I'm
government.
saying?
America is currently $36 trillion broker than a homeless person. That
God, damn.
number is
Whole time, nigga, we not paying none of these motherfuckers.
increasing by 2 trillion a year. Luckily, we now have you. 220 billion honestly isn't gonna do much, but it's definitely gonna help. Assuming, of course, that the US government efficiently manages a $250 billion cash injection. You might be wondering how you're gonna send the money. And the answer is pay.gov, an official website where you can make donations to.
See, 800 billion. You get 800 billion away to these niggas type shit. Boom, 200 more billion. Hey, my nigga, you
the
chilling.
US government
shit.
To reduce the public debt. So let's just enter in your 220 billion
nigga,
right here and well, turns out the maximum amount the Treasury accepts is only $1 million.
Oh,
you just bought the government a bag of screws from Lockheed Martin. Maybe your money will put a bigger dent into medical debt. See, unlike the government, broke people dying of cancer aren't allowed to print more money to pay off their crippling obligations. Instead, their unpaid debts get sold off to collections for pennies on the dollar. But because of this discount, charities like Undo Medical Debt can erase $100 worth of debt for every $1 donation they receive. And with that ratio, you could wipe out all the medical debt in the US for just $2.2 billion. But what about world hunger? The UN estimated it would take 40 billion each year to end world hunger by 2030. We could afford that. Next, how about we help out malnourished and starving college students? Student loan debt in the US totals 1.777 trillion, with the government loaning out 87.2 billion a year. But before we try to attack this, there's a slight problem. Once universities catch wind that trillionaire Jesus is bailing out their victims, they'll probably just jack up their prices. On top of that, paying off loans might be seen as unfair to older generations who had to pay their way through college and pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
That's tough, bro. I'm not gonna
Turns
lie.
out philanthropy isn't as easy as it seems.
It's not easy. Building Amazon was not easy. Philanthropy is very similar. It's really hard.
I agree with Jeff here. Let's just buy another $500 million yacht. That's enough philanthropy for today. You still have 60 billion left, and I think I know how to spend it. It might be semi-cheating, but hear me out. 37% of Americans can't afford an unexpected purchase over $400. Being a trillionaire, your passive income earns you $400 every 0.126 seconds. The median net worth under 35 is $39,000. As a trillionaire, you could exchange your toilet paper with rolls of $39,000 bills for your entire lifetime and it wouldn't put a dent in your finances. $1 trillion gives you horizons incomprehensible to the normal paycheck-to-paycheck living human.
This sounds
Even
so
after
good,
your
dog,
spending
but
spree,
fuck.
you still have so much money left that it gives you too many options. You could launch space programs, clean up the ocean, fund institutions. 24 hours just isn't enough time for this much fun. So let's buy more time.
I ain't gonna lie, this shit would not be fun, bro. This shit would be stressful as fuck. Oh, what's it?
Make yourself a trust and safely store your money in it. Now, all of those humanity shifting endeavors, you can sleep on them. On the world's most expensive bed.
Nigga, this a bag costs fucking 6.3 million. Sheesh, my nigga. That shit's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. If you were offered a... Listen, man. If you were offered $1 trillion, what would you do? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm gonna keep it a band, bro. I definitely splurge myself. Splurge my family. Feed my family. Put hella money in the bank accounts. Put whatever I gotta do, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? But... I don't really know. Y'all niggas let me know down in the comments. I feel like spending $1 trillion in 24 hours is it's fun. It sounds fun, but it's stress. That shit sounds stressful as fuck. Cause what he said, if you don't spend that $1 trillion in 24 hours, then all that shit is gone, my nigga. All that time that you spent spending that much money, my nigga, that shit's gone, my nigga. That shit's gonna fuck you up forever. But snap back in reality, my nigga. We broke around this motherfucker. Well, not broke, but we not rich around this motherfucker yet, my nigga. We gotta get rich, bro. We gotta get rich, bro. No cap. Snap back in reality, my nigga. Fuck this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. But anyways, man, I hope y'all niggas enjoyed this shit. If y'all do, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications. We on this road to 2K. Hit my Instagram, hit my Twitter for videos for me to react to. Link in the description below. I'm gonna catch y'all niggas till the next one, and we out. Gang.